made it halfway through the first week in June. Just a bit.
I can hear that toilet roll starting to spin.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine Wednesday evening. It is a fine Wednesday. Actually, it's been a beautiful day here. I spent a couple of moments throughout the day sat out in the sunshine because I just love that D. Vitamin D. So I spent a couple of moments sat out. They're not for long, unfortunately, because I've been sat in here busy working away like a little worker bee. But we have got to the midway point for the first week in June. Thank you for choosing to spend that midpoint with us on this Wednesday evening for what I think is going to be an interesting topic. Thank you so much, Buckshot81, for the 5 gifted memberships. Oh, there we go. We've got the salute in. Beautiful. If you start... What people don't realise, poor old people like Joe, what they don't realise is they start something on this channel, it sticks. It sticks.
Never start something.
Anyway, thank you for coming tonight and hanging out with us, you wonderful people. If you haven't already, please make sure you smash all those magical YouTube buttons for us. Hit like if you enjoy the content. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. And hit that bell notification icon every time if you want to be notified every single time we go live or drop a new video. Alternatively, if you are a member of the Great Hall, Mr. the Buckshot has just helped 5 new people become a member of the Great Hall. If you are a member of the Great Hall, you can get notified every time we schedule a stream, go live, or post a new video just by having the right reaction role. You have to get yourself in Discord for that. So for all of those beautiful people that just got gifted memberships, !Discord will get you a link. If you click on that, in you go to the Great Hall Discord server, which is full of wonderful people, amazing people, beautiful people, and Cass. So you can go hang out with those people in there. And there's plenty of super cool threads. If you go in there and you haven't linked your YouTube to your Discord account, it will look weird. It will look a bit empty, right? That's because you haven't linked it. Once you link it, you go, oh my God, there's fucking loads. There's loads in here. Oh, Joe, thank you, my love. I feel like I fixed the bot. I feel like I fixed Amy, but I don't know. So I'm glad you've donated that big yellow 10. I'm not going to read it out just yet, because I want to see if she picks it up, okay? I think I fixed Amy. But we'll see. We'll see. Anywho, it's been a reasonable day here today. It's been an okay day. I'm in a relatively happy mood. In fact, I was talking to Luce earlier about the fact that I think on the whole now, I'm starting to feel the positive impacts of the lifestyle change, the diet change, the drinking habit change, more water, healthier foods, less junk foods, less caffeine, more exercise. I feel like I'm starting to feel that change. So today is the first time in a long time I actually genuinely noticed at 1 o'clock. I was like, I don't feel really lethargic and shit.
Yeah.
And today I think it's the first time I've noticed that. So I've been posting in the Fit for 40k thread in Discord. I've also built our own fitness accountability thread in the OnlyThanes WhatsApp community. If you want to be part of that, ! member, click the link, upgrade to Thanes, one of the biggest tiers, which also means you have another bit. I fixed it!
Big yerb.
Yay!
I fixed it, chat! Thank you, Joe, for the 10. You're amazing. I fixed it. Yes! So yeah, I've also built the OnlyThanes fitness, accountability tracker, which I'm super proud of. Because I'm just trying to post in there to do a thing basically I'm trying to set an example. There's a reason for this story, by the way. Stay with me. There's a reason why I'm talking about fitness, because I don't want you to think I've turned into that twat. There's a reason why I'm talking about fitness. Will Stewart, thank you for the 50 gifted memberships. Oh my fucking God. 50 memberships off the bat. We've just started. Will, thank you so much. I can't thank you enough for 50 gifted. I've set the target back to 100. 150 is greedy. I set the target back to 100. You people are amazing. Thank you for trying to hit that target every night. You're incredible human beings. If we do get to 150, we do give away a t-shirt. And sometimes I feel super generous and I give away 2 t-shirts if we get to 150. We do give away a t-shirt, all right? Thank you, Will. He's given you all a massive boost to try and get to that 100 members right off the bat. You people are amazing, all right? So, back to the fitness thing, okay? So I've been recently trying to make some changes to my lifestyle. There's a reason for it, and it's a 100% personal reason for making these changes. And it was because I was feeling lethargic at midday and 1 o'clock. I was struggling to see my own penis. I was making creaks and noises every time I bent down and went to pick something up. I was feeling weaker and tireder and more tireder, which is the correct one. Feeling more tired. I think more tired is probably the correct English. I was feeling just genuinely a bit run down all the time, and I was just feeling bleh, you know, that feeling. Bleh. Everyone gets there every now and again. And I took some time, and I was like, well, there's a number of reasons why I can't see my own penis and why I'm feeling bleh. And at one point also, I looked at myself on camera on stream and went, oh, I actually just look like a fat fucker. Travis, thank you so much for 5 Jesus, fuck. What's going on? Thank you for 5 gifted. You amazing, amazing, amazing human being. Okay. So, there was a reason why I was doing that. It's because bad diet, no exercise, drinking shit as well. So I was drinking full fat tea and coffee with multiple sugars in it. I was drinking full fat Coke, full fat Sprite, milkshakes. Joe and I had got into some really bad habits being in the studio with cheap microwave meals, which are high fat, high salt. The occasional Uber Eats, fucking McDonald's. We were just eating shit. We were drinking shit, and I wasn't moving. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't doing any exercise. Now, when I was younger, I got away with that because I had a high metabolic rate. As a 37-year-old man, I know, don't look a day over 24. As a 37-year-old man, I can't get away with it anymore. So I was feeling really shit. And so I engaged my personal trainer. I started to exercise again. I've basically cut out sugar that's not natural in things like fruit. I've changed my diet. So rather than microwave meals, we're having chicken salads and stuff like that. I'm literally drinking water throughout the day. I haven't had a single cup of actual tea or coffee today. I've been drinking green tea instead with a touch of honey in it. Loads and loads of changes. And today was the first day that I actually really feel like I've been fresh all day and I felt okay all day, right? Now, what I've also been doing along this journey is trying to share it with people. Little bits on Instagram, a little bit more in the Fit for 40k threads in Discord, and a little bit more in the OnlyThanes. I was talking to my PT, who is in the OnlyThanes, and I was saying that hopefully part of what we're doing here is just trying to set a good example. Yeah. Because I think it's quite fair to say in general that the wargaming community on the whole perhaps don't necessarily live the healthiest of lifestyles, right? I'm not calling you all fat fucks, but perhaps a lot of people don't live the healthiest of lifestyles. So I was about setting an example, and I started having this conversation with him a week, 2 weeks ago, I reckon. Maybe a little bit longer, maybe 3 weeks ago. And that got me thinking, this is literally the seeds that sometimes sow before we get to a topic like tonight's stream. Sometimes the seeds are sown 2, 3, 4 weeks in advance, right? Before we get to things like tonight's stream. And setting an example, I think, is important for those of us that are in the sort of space that we're in, the profession that we're in, the career that we're in. So whether you want to call yourself a content creator, an Instagrammer, a social media influencer, whatever one of those words you want to use, basically we're in a position where we have an audience of people on social media platforms like YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, etc., whichever platform you choose to use, who look at what you do, watch what you do, and look up to you, and sometimes make decisions based on your recommendations, your actions, your comments, etc., right?
Terrible influencers? Well, this guy named Liam Dempsey or something like that keeps going on about being relatable and beer and pretzels garage hammer. Who would dare to go against competitive?
Star, thank you so much for the 10. Love you. Maybe. I got Amy working. I'm happy about that, right?
Bless me.
So that got me thinking. There was another. We try and kind of influence your decisions. We try and give recommendations. I actively say on the channel frequently that whenever I am sponsored by a company or I have an affiliate link, and I have a number of them, I don't do that with any company that I don't personally believe in myself. I've had offers from other companies for affiliate deals and sponsorship deals, some of which are direct payment that I've turned down because I personally don't like the product or I wouldn't use the product. I got offered, for example, Joe's very upset about this, I got offered to be put in touch with the person who deals with sponsorships and affiliations for Monster Energy. No. And I said no. Joe's very upset. Yeah. He got really angry, but I was like, no, because I think Monster's terrible for you and it's just bad shit, right? So I said no. But that's just an example. The reason why I have a Secret Lab affiliation is because I have a chair here. I have a chair in the studio. I bought Joe a chair. I think their product is great. The reason why I have a Baron of Dice affiliation is because all of our channel dice are made by Baron of Dice. The reason why I have an Element affiliation is because I get all my hobby product from Element, unless I actually can't because I don't have it, in which case I get it from GW. Like, these affiliations that I have... Thank you for the poo, John. These affiliations that I have that I throw out to you people because they're products that I use. But not only do I think that we do things like set an example. Not only do I think we do things like influence your decisions on companies that you use and products you buy, but we also, as a duty, I guess, to an audience, I think a duty is fair, is we review and we inform and we showcase and we all that kind of good stuff, right? So if you go and find yourself a fitness influencer, you want them to be teaching you about what?
Josh says hi.
Hey Josh, love you. You want to be teaching them about, if you're going to find a fitness influencer, you want them to be teaching you about nutrition, diet, how to do certain exercises, what exercises are good, etc. If you go and find a tech influencer, you want him to be showcasing the latest phones and laptops and teaching you about them and telling you about them and maybe giving you some hints, tips and tricks as to things you can do. And so on and so forth, right? This continues, okay? So I think that I have a duty to set an example. I think I have a duty to tell you people honestly what products are good and bad in my eyes, and I think I also have a duty to inform you. And I think that on the latter, there's a failing there. John, thank you so much for 20 gifted. It's not 50 like Will, John, but thank you for 20 gifted memberships. You beautiful human being. We are racing through these membership goals on the first Wednesday stream of the week. The Warhammer show is flying. Although our most monetized streams used to be Fridays. Mm-hmm. It's kind of changing now.
Yeah.
Interesting. Anyway, that's irrelevant. Right. So that's a bit of background, right? That's a bit of background. So with that background in mind, I was thinking about Warhammer influences. I actually had a conversation with Joe about this at the weekend as well, because I've come to realise that I personally think, there's no nice way of saying this, I think Warhammer influencers are shit.
Because they're bad people, or because they don't...
I don't think they're bad people. I don't think they're bad people at all.
Okay, so they're just bad at business.
They're bad at being influencers.
Okay. Well, do you know what? I think that's actually lovely.
Maybe.
If you're bad at being an influencer, then there might still be a part of you that's actually still human. And you're not totally robot now.
Yeah, so I don't think they're bad people necessarily, right? I know a lot of them and I get on with most of them. Some of them are not the nicest individuals and some of them are great, and I have opinions on each, and this is not what this is about. John McCall, thank you for one more gifted. That's 21. So you're only 29 away from Will. I don't think they're bad people, right? I need to put that out there categorically. I do not think they're bad people whatsoever, right? And that's not the case. I just think they're fucking bad at being influencers. And some of them, that being said, some of them are bad people, but that exists in every space and every profession, and that happens, and that's life. I'm not here, I need to put this out there now. I'm not here to say names tonight or point the finger at certain people. I could do that. I don't think that's conducive of a positive environment. I want to be that person, right? But what I mean by that? Well, I think that some of them out there will literally try and sell you a dog poo if they think they can make some money off of it. Mm-hmm. Now, I guess actually that's contradictory to what I've just said. That could arguably make people a bad person to some extent.
Liam was Erebus this whole time, misguiding our decisions.
Mouseless, thank you for the $10, legend. John, thank you for one more gifted. You absolute hero. Travis, that's one of the best super chats of the night. What was I saying? Yeah, so some of them will... John, stop it, because I have to keep stopping every time you do it, wanker. Thank you for the one gifted. You're amazing. So some of them will try and sell you anything if they think they're going to make some money off of it through an affiliation link or commission. Now, do we think that makes them a bad person?
What, the affiliation stuff?
Yeah, arguably they're trying to make a living. Now, if I didn't believe in a product...
It's not 50 gifted subs. What an ungrateful twat. Talk about being a bad influencer. Smiley face.
My favourite super chat of the night, by the way. That's amazing. I don't have anything here because it's obviously my office, which I wouldn't buy myself. So this is not a great. Let's say, for example, this was a shit product. Not a shit product, by the way, a great product. Let's say this was a shit product. Okay, I've got an example. Here, we've got an example. John, thank you for the single gifteds. Plural. There you go, cover them off. So this is brush cleaner, right? Which is and preserver from the Masters. Masters brush cleaner and preserver. Nobody, thank you for one gifted. This is the brush soap from the Artis Opus Series S set, right? This is good brush soap. This I don't use. Okay, I don't use this stuff at all. It just so happens it comes in the brush sets, which is why I have some. Okay. So this good. This I don't use. Now, some influencers will go out there and tell you this is the only brush soap you should buy.
Right.
Having never used it. Because they have an affiliate link. Does that make them a bad person? Or are they just trying to make a living? There's a grey line there, I think. Because maybe they're not being dishonest. Maybe they do like the product. But I do know of individuals who have pushed product before that personally they don't use or believe in themselves. John, thank you for a couple more. Mouseless, thank you for upgrading to Jarl tier. You writing down all the things for hat tricks. Right, thank you for Jarl tier. Christopher Sands for PlayStation Gloucester, thank you for the one gifted. Stop interrupting me, right? I'm gonna stop saying thank you for a minute now. Just throwing that out there.
Well, you've already covered all of John's.
The Poor Marching On podcast. Welcome, sir. I don't think I've seen you since that fateful Sunday.
What fateful Sunday?
Well, Marching On podcast is a podcast about Leeds United Football Club.
Oh.
Thank you for another gifted jump. So that's one type of bad influencer, I'd suggest, is a person who perhaps is prepared to try and encourage you to buy a product based solely on the fact that they get commission rather than they actually believe in that product. We try very desperately. In fact, we don't do that. I ban them from doing that. I will not have people on our channel pushing a product because of some sort of commission that we don't use or believe in ourselves. But the one that really interests me, the one that Joe and I were talking about the most, is the inform part of being an influencer, right? So I feel like me saying buy this product whether I like it or not, actually still realistically it sits with you whether you do or don't decide to go and buy that product. It's dishonest of me to tell you to buy something that I don't actually believe in myself, but it's up to you. The other thing that I think influencers should do, Mouseless, thank you for the 10 gifted. That's an important one, so I'll say thank you for the 10 gifted. Oh, actually, Starpilot, thank you for 1. Jonathan De Silva, thank you for 1. You're all amazing. I got Chris as well. John, you're being childish. Thank you for all the 1s, John. Was that Mouseless?
Yeah!
He did the hat trick. We've got a hat trick bell already. Cool, okay, beautiful.
17 minutes in.
17 minutes, we've had our first hat trick. You're amazing. John, thank you for another gifted. But the inform part is the part that I actually think that 40k influencers are particularly fucking bad at, or Warhammer influencers in general. What do I mean by that? Well, we started talking about this years ago, Joe and I, from the Horus Heresy event at Warhammer World. Actually, you know what? It was true of Warhammer Fest. It was true of UK Games Expo to a point as well. And if you go on to... It's okay, but I hope the Saints stay up next season. They thoroughly deserve the win. I don't know if we were the better team on the day, mate. We scored one, you didn't, but that's football, I guess. I appreciate the graciousness in defeat, anyway.
Yeah,
so
nice.
if you think about any of those big events, I take to Instagram or Facebook or whatever after those big events, and there's a bunch of big influencers that went to those events, Luce. Yeah. And what do you think I see? Do you think I see loads and loads of pictures of the fantastic miniatures and the fantastic armies from the Horus Heresy Festival? Do you think I see loads and loads of images of all the new 10th edition stuff and all the new stands at Warhammer Fest? Do you think I see loads and loads of photos of the whole hall at UK Games Expo and people showcasing all the small individual companies that are at UK Games Expo? Do you think I see all those things?
No.
Or do you think I mostly just see fucking selfies?
Yes.
And do you think I mostly just see smaller creators grabbing selfies with bigger creators and posting that all over social media so they can tag the bigger creator, probably just to try and expand their own following?
But
see,
if you look really carefully in the background, you can
see the blurry image of the stands. Yeah, absolutely.
On.
And this is my point, right? We're in a world where, in terms of the job as such, part of the job is about growing your influence, your reach, your audience. That can be through things like clickbaity stream titles, like our Warhammer influence actually terrible. That can be through John, thank you for many more gifteds, by the way. We have actually got over the 100 immediately. I didn't notice because he keeps banging one. John, you're fucking incredible and I love you, just so you know. And you made that very clear. I want to keep talking. Surprise. So we need to grow audience. And do I blame necessarily smaller creators from grabbing bigger creators and tagging them in images on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and going, hey, I'm with this person? So they can try and grow their reach and grow their audience. No, I don't blame them for that. I absolutely don't blame them for that. But we're missing the informed part, I find, often out of what this kind of job description entails. Now, I'm going to hold my hands up here. I was half of one of those terrible people on Friday. So we didn't post. Joe and I didn't post selfies everywhere of ourselves with other creators. We didn't do that because I hate it. I don't like pictures of myself anyway because I look like fucking slots from the Goonies. But oh, thanks for the dumbbell. It's here, Dave. It's here next to me. In the office all the time. Look out, office cows.
I would have laughed so much if you just fell off your chair.
Do you want to hold it? It's quite heavy.
No, I don't want to hold it, thank you. I already know.
And the weights, way!
Oh. Grow up!
Thanks for the dumbbell. So we didn't do the selfie thing. But what we also didn't do is we didn't take loads of pictures of the actual event and share it. And I sat back and I thought to myself, literally this week, on Monday, I was like, Joe and I were bad influences on Friday. We went to UK Games Expo. We saw a ton of cool stuff, a ton of cool stalls.
John, did you eat paint chips as a kid?
Travis, we did. We saw tons of small independent creators. We saw, or independent companies. We saw some big companies. We saw some decent new games.
Yeah, but where's my guaranteed swag bag?
We all those things.
You get a swag bag?
What guaranteed swag bag?
Do you get a swag bag when you go to these things?
No.
Oh.
I've never had one. So we saw all these cool things. What we didn't do, what we were bad at actually doing. I came on Games Expo. I came on, YouTube that evening. Literally that evening after Games Expo to talk about Games Expo. And I said it was amazing. So it was great. It was really, really good. And I talked about how I was sad actually that GW weren't there, and I think that they should be there, and I stand by that. I was sad that GW weren't there, and I think that they should be there. I absolutely think they should be there. John is really entertaining himself tonight. So we did talk about it, but what I didn't actually do at that point was talk about some of the stands and things that we saw. And a lot of the stands' names and stuff now have gone out of my head. Do you know what would have kept that name in my head? Taking photos of it. Taking photos of the stands. This is a stand that makes cool dice sets. This is a stand that makes cool this. This is a stand that does cool terrain. Like, I could have taken photos of those stands with their names, and I could have put some pictures of them and be like, hey, this is a super fucking cool company that you might never heard of that makes some amazing D&D dice boxes that are all felt lined with all your dice lined out. There's a little space for a miniature in the middle and some, like, that's super cool. Can I remember the name of the company now? Can I fuck? But if I'd have taken a photo, not only could I remember that company existed that I was impressed by, I could have posted it to social media and be like, hey, people, look at this. Now, this is the first real time I've gone to a big convention like this, so I am a bit of a novice when it comes to these events. And this is me now probably being a bit overly critical, perhaps, and thinking back on it about, the issues or the issues that I think I have from going to these events and not being a particularly great content creator stroke influencer afterwards, because I think it'd have been super cool to have shown people some of these like smaller stands and smaller companies. We came home having
rude interruption.
Thanks Dave, thanks. We came home having bought Shatterpoint for Star Wars. We bought Fallout, or some Fallout miniatures for the new Fallout game. We didn't get the rules yet because they weren't in stock. And, we didn't even take photos of that and share it. And I went on Instagram, and it is full of people taking selfies with other creators.
Yeah.
I dread to think how many fucking selfies poor old Duncan was in this weekend because he was there at Games Expo.
The only thing I have to say about that is I've never done the selfie thing whenever I've gone out anywhere. But I do like to take photos of the places I'm going to because they're interesting. And then when I come home and I can tell you all about my holiday, I can talk to you about these interesting places. One of two things happens is you either ruin the moment for yourself, so you don't truly enjoy the moment because you've got to get your camera out, or what I found in York is beautiful and very interesting, but because places like the Shambles is so tourist attractive, it's just full of litter.
It's ruined.
And I don't want to take a photo of that.
No, I get that.
I don't want that to be my lasting memory.
And so the first part of that's quite interesting because that's part of the reason why I'm actually quite keen often not to get my phone out. Now, we went through this as a family unit. Evan, thank you so much for the gifted Evan. Thank you so much. We went through this as a family unit, right? We live in the South Coast. We live in Southampton area, roughly, okay? My parents are relatively nearby. Lucy's folks aren't. They're Coventry. So
we haven't had our recent tetanus shots. So
we don't keep our immunizations.
I said it, chat, before you all get in on it.
We don't keep our immunizations up, and we lost a stab vest, so we don't go back very often.
We once had 3 children.
So yeah, we did. We had to feed one to the crowd to get through. So because our parents are so far away, when it came to Christmas time, and we have young kids, obviously, what we were doing 4 or 5 years ago was we were living Christmas through the lens of an iPhone. And so what I mean by that is we were literally videoing the whole Christmas so we could send it to our grandparents. On the one hand, it sounds lovely, right? Really, really nice because you're sharing that moment with your grandparents. On the second hand, or their grandparents. On the second hand, Luce and I at that point weren't getting to enjoy Christmas with our own children. Now, my parents never had this problem because guess what? Video cameras were fucking like this. And you could probably film for 20 minutes before the battery ran out back then. So it wasn't really an issue, right? But for us, it became an issue. And we had to go back to our parents and say, we love you dearly, but this is our turn to share Christmas with children. So when it comes to Christmas morning now, quite often we basically ban phones because I want to actually enjoy the moment. And I'm conscious of that at things like UK Games Expo, at things like Warhammer Fest. I really, really, really want people who go to those things, who recognise Joe or recognise myself, I want them to be able to or feel welcome to come up and say hello. I genuinely want them to do that. And I feel like if I'm doing this the whole time, I'm a little bit less approachable. I think that's like a barrier thing that exists where people don't want to be on the camera, or they find themselves not wanting to approach you because we must be filming something or whatever. So in my mind, at least, I feel like it's a bit of a barrier for people to come up, and I want to encourage that because when the things that people said to us on Friday were so amazing, I came home energized. I told you guys that, right? So I typically try and keep the phone away as most as I possibly can, but what we then did was we were bad at informing you people. And then, like I said, I went on social media, a sea of fucking selfies, a sea of people that love themselves, showing people that they love themselves. And if you follow those creators, you probably know what their face looks like.
True.
So I don't know, is it just me? Maybe I feel like creators in other spaces do a better job of this. They do. Some of the bigger creators, at least, that I follow, when they go to showcases of new tech products. So I think about Marquez, for example, when he goes to the new Apple phone thing or the new Apple Watch thing or whatever, or the new Samsung launch or the new whatever it is that he's covering, right? Whatever it is he's covering, when he puts his video out there, it's full of content that shows me the product and shows me the thing that he's looking at and shows me the thing that he's been invited to look at, right? And not even so much as like his Instagram feed is full of pictures of tech and pictures of new gadgets and pictures of this and pictures of that. And yes, he uses it to drive audiences to his YouTube channel. But like, for me, that's a good informative creator stroke influencer. But I just feel like we're in a place where for the 40k, the Warhammer influencer scene in general is too focused on this weird circle jerk of fucking selfies that all go on social media, and it's like, follow your favorite Instagram creator, follow your favorite Warhammer creator, and get to see their face with other people's face lots of times. Is it me?
So I like Brian's idea. I had a similar one. Brian says, no cameras, but take a small notepad or have a peon. What's a peon? Have I said that right?
I think it's supposed to be pen.
Do that while you get to be the face. Let Kyle or Brom or Joe take pictures. I did think maybe you bring someone along to be like, it sounds really pretentious. I don't mean it to be, but I'm terrible at taking photos. Would you mind being?
I have thought about saying. This is the thing. So I have thought about saying to people, I want you to come along with me and basically be my cameraman. But I feel like that makes you sound like an egotistical dickhead. And also, if you think about Friday, for example. So Brian, I genuinely love the idea. If I think about Friday, for example, Joe came with me, as far as I'm concerned, and I know he doesn't necessarily do all the streams, but as far as I'm concerned, as far as the channel goes, Joe is basically almost as important as I am.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't want to be like, Joe, you're coming with me as my underling. Get your camera out, take loads of photos of me, because that's not the case. So if I can get him to take photos of the stalls and I feel a little bit better about that, but I also want him to be approachable because people fucking love Joe. I've said this forever, right? I've said this forever, okay? I am Marmite and Joe is Jam.
Yeah.
And for those of you that don't know, because some of you have joined us recently and don't know, have never heard me say this phrase before, some of you that have done that are also in the US and have probably never heard of it before. Marmite is Vegemite in Australia. It's a yeast-based product. It's like a thick black tar that we Brits spread on things like toast and eat it. And Marmite did an advertising campaign. I think it's still part of their main slogan, actually, where they say, Marmite, you love it or hate it. There's no in between, right? Joe is Jam. And the reason why I say Jam is I've never met a single person like, I don't like Jam. Never met a single person. Everyone loves Jam. Everyone. So I'm Marmite. I 100% believe that people either love me or hate me, and I'm aware that that's the case. I'm aware that I'm Marmite. I'm aware that there's people that turn up to my shows and they watch, maybe they get suggested by the algorithm, maybe they're watching from the homepage and they go, he's a fucking arrogant prick, or I don't like him, he's got an attitude. That's fine, cool, okay, exists. That's the case. And some people think I'm amazing and they turn up every night and they gift loads of memberships like John is, hang on, he stopped now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Thank you for the additional 19 gifted memberships, John.
That's the second person that's written peon. I'm Googling it.
Peon? So some people love us. Joe, however, is Jam. Everyone loves Jam. No one hates Jam. That's the case, right? So I feel like one of the reasons why I have Joe with me and one of the reasons why I take Joe with me is because he is that Jam. So if someone doesn't like me, if a person watches our channel, if a person watches our content, specifically our gaming streams, and they watch it because they like Joe, but they really fucking can't stand Liam, cool, that's fine. That means I have an extra viewer. I'm okay with it. I'm a mature individual. John, thank you for 1 gifted. Thank you for the 40 gifted, John, so far. You're amazing.
So Google has come up with a picture of an orc with an explanation of what a peon is.
It says, it's a crumpets band, it's like a peasant or a serf.
Well, it also says here, a Spanish-American day labourer. How strange to call someone a Spanish-American day labourer. We're English.
So anyway, yeah. Anyway, my overriding sense of yes or no here. That's a terrible way of wording this. Where I fall on this particular topic is I reckon that Warhammer influencers are actually terrible at being influencers. I'm not saying they're bad people. We live in a significantly smaller niche market. We have a significantly smaller niche audience, and we're all competing with each other to attract that niche audience to ourselves and to get eyes on content, right? We're constantly competing with each other to get eyes on content. Can I blame people for going to UK Games Expo, instead of taking a picture of something useful, taking a photo of themselves with Mini Wargaming Dave, one of the biggest wargaming channels out there, and posting that to social media in the hope that it gains them traction, and tagging him in that content in the hope that he probably like reposts it or something, so they get loads of traction? Can I blame people for doing that? No, I can't blame people for doing that, and I'll never blame people for doing that, quite frankly, because we are all competing with each other in a very small niche audience space. You've just got to go and look at how many Warhammer channels are live right now. Right now live, we are live, Vanguard Tactics are live, War Hipsters live, Art of War is live. There's 4 major channels already that are live right now. Right? There's constant competition. Tomorrow we'll go live at 7:30. 8 o'clock, Tabletop Titans go live. There's constant competition all the time. I cannot blame people for competing with each other for eyes on content and using bigger creators and using selfies and using moments where you've met people for growing that. I actually don't blame people for that at all. But if you look at influencers in other spaces, I feel like they do a better job of being an influencer, teaching you, informing you, recommending, than a lot of people in our current space do. It's like on New Product Weekend or on Reveal Weekends, right? Reveal shows are new product shows. Reveal shows are, you go to Instagram and Games Workshop show off a brand new model. Hey, here's a brand new model. And then you go to Instagram and there's 5,000 reposts of the exact same picture of the exact same model. Most of it with, I absolutely love this model. No real critical breakdown, no real depth of discussion about it. I love this model, I'm posting the new model. Cool, okay. I feel like if you really want eyes on content at that point, you do something a bit more new and inventive when that new model kit is displayed or shown for the first time. I don't know what exactly, otherwise I'd be doing it, but you do something new and inventive because Instagram becomes a sea of people just reposting the same image. It's the same as when GW, we're lucky enough that GW send us out products in advance. So if you watch the Monday show, if you watch the hobby show on Monday, we were building the Chaos Lord from the Veterans of the Long War box, right? Now I would have liked to have got this stuff ready for the preview. Unfortunately, GW didn't get the boxes to us until after the preview, so we couldn't do that. Happens, they've got issues with their shipping and all that kind of stuff. It happens. I'm not going to get too upset about it. So we made content on Monday with the new Chaos Lord model because that's the best I could do. I'm really bored of seeing people on Instagram go, I got this new box. Thanks, GW. Okay, good. Well, what are you going to do with it? How nice is the kit? How easy is it to build? How beautiful is the sculpt? What's the book like? What are the rules like? How does that work? What's this new product thing? Like, I've got this box. Thanks, Games Workshop. Is shit.
Yeah.
It's just shit content. It's like, oh, I have to do something because they sent it to me. I'm just going to show them. I'm just going to show people that I've got it. Right? I feel like, on the whole, that means that the whole of the whole's like all-encompassing. I think a large portion of the Warhammer community, Warhammer influencer community, is just bad. It's just not good.
I have little pet peeves. Maybe not as influent. Well, are they? It was when you have 5 minutes and you go doom scrolling. It's when there's people filming themselves crying with words in the background about, I don't know, the fact it's Wednesday. I don't know, but they've filmed themselves crying. So crying is sometimes a private matter, like you cry to yourself in the shower if you're having a stressful day and there's no other adult in the house you can cry to, or you know, it's such a delicate emotion, you don't really want it documented and then sent out en masse.
I think
but then to position the camera,
well, this is
so
the problem.
It definitely gets you in the best possible angle.
This has happened, right? This has happened in the Warhammer space. People use tears and sadness to sell content loose. It's
mental.
Tragic. And I think, like, I have no issues with people being tearful.
Yeah.
I have no issues with people having a cry, men or women.
Yeah.
No problems with that whatsoever.
Yeah.
Especially when it's genuine.
Yeah.
Right? I have no problems whatsoever with that. And sometimes there's moments where people get caught out. And I've seen it happen on stream. People get caught out and they get a bit emotional and they're trying to control it. And you can see them trying to control it. They get a bit teary, but they've been caught out. And those moments are natural.
But those moments are actually kind of beautiful because it's that delicate balance of let it go, that you can't, like I say to Ben, they're trying to leak out anyway. You can't keep those tears in. Let them out, let them out. But it's when people place the camera. What are you doing?
Or they choose that moment for the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so you're just using sadness to sell content. Brilliant. John McCardle, thank you for a number of more. I'll be honest with you, mate. I love you dearly. I don't know how many more you've gifted. Clive the Kiwi gifted 5. Thank you so much, Clive the Kiwi. After everything, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe more. John, thank you for 8 more. We're on 124 gifted memberships chat. We're also on £50 of a super chat revenue. Your amazing Siege Roots gifts one. I mean, if he keeps up this beat rate, we're maybe not close to the record. You people are amazing. I wonder if I cry to my missus, I might get a BJ. I wouldn't.
No,
I wouldn't, Dave. Your safest bet there is just to cry and use it as lube. So anyway, it's a bit longer than normal.
Tell! I can't believe you did that.
So it's a bit of a longer kind of comment, a bit of a longer kind of intro, I guess, to the stream than normal, since it's taking me 40 minutes to get it out. But genuinely, this is an opinion I have, and I feel like I'm included in this. I feel like the influencers of Warhammer space.
Not only is Joe a very lovable person, you are as well.
Ah.
The way you two work so well of each other, it's simply amazing. You can't fake that chemistry. You really have to love someone as much as you love Joe to have that bond.
To put up with that smell, you mean?
It's like the old family dog. It smells a bit. There's a few accidents, but we love it too much.
I fucking adore Joe. Joe is incredible. He's
He is
one that, like, I have known Joe for 3 or 4 years now, maximum, maybe less than that. And in that time, he has become my closest friend alongside people like Brom and Lee and that. Right? He's amazing. I love him. He's incredible. So I'm glad that comes across because I have to get told off for bullying him.
Is John McCardle actually terrible? The Amusing Myself Show.
Thank you, John. You're amazing. Yeah, so there's a couple of people in the comment section who don't get the thing that goes on between me and Joe. There's like, Joe just gets bullied and gaslit all the time by Liam. That big, horrible bearded guy picks on the fat bearded guy. I'm like, oh, yeah, that comment happened the other day. I deleted it because it did.
Oh my God.
That big, ugly bearded dude was just picking on the fat bearded dude. I'm like, I'm picking on him. You've just called him the fat bearded dude. So that's why I made a thing on Tuesday night about our names. Like, you know, we use the name all through the stream and someone goes, that bearded. So I deleted that comment. It didn't need to stay up there. Anyway, yeah, people think that I bully him and I gaslight him and I wind him up the whole time. It's because I fucking adore the man and we're banter with each other all day.
You're like brothers.
Almost, yeah. He's incredible. I love him. He's a great human being. He deserves all the best. And I want him to just be happy all the time because he's amazing. Anyway, so that's my opinion. When I say we're all terrible influencers, I actually legitimately include myself because I think about UK Games Expo and I told you that Games Workshop should have been there and I told you that it was amazing. Didn't show you that it was amazing. I didn't show you what was there. I didn't show you the cool stands. I didn't show you the smaller companies. Like, it's a duty of mine to go, here's a small company that's making a small amount of money. They're really, really good. Maybe you guys should go check them out. That's the duty that I feel like I have to people when I think I find someone who is an exceptional new company or creator.
Crying should only be public if it's natural and uncontrollable. Screw the people who cry just to make content. It's lazy, dumb, and should be shamed.
The fucking chat's woken up tonight. Thank you. Sam, I actually agree with you, I think, on the whole.
Dave B says, well, I'm not getting my tea now. It didn't work. Liam, you're a terrible influencer.
I told you to use it as lube, Dave. Now, if you did that in front of your wife and kids, that's why you're not getting your tea, all right? That's not my fault. I didn't tell you to do it in public, Dave. I didn't tell you to do that in the living room, did I? Mom, Dad's got his trousers around his ankles again.
He's doing it again.
So yeah, like I was saying, I think I've done a bad job of going to those kind of events and not showcasing it to you properly. It's something I'm going to try and be better at in future. You're still not going to get tons of selfies of me because I fucking hate the way I look, which is odd, being that I put myself on camera. But I want to know what you guys think. Legitimately want to know what you guys think, right? So now is when I was going to say, you know, you can super chat and tell me what you think. Give me opinions like Sam's. I legitimately care and want to hear. Whether you're like, actually, you guys are doing all right, or no, you guys are fucking terrible. There is things you could be doing better. We will forever maintain on the channel the integrity when it comes to products that we promote and companies that we talk about. We don't have any big sponsorship deals. We don't have any sponsorship deals that pay us big money to support them. If we did, one, we'd have to tell you, but two, because of the UK advertising laws. But two, at the moment, I'm only supporting products where I'm like, I like your product. Mm-hmm. I'm happy to support your product. It doesn't make me a lot of money, but I think it's a good product and I want to support your product, right? And that will always be the case. You'll never see us do a Raid Shadow Legends advert. And if they did, I'd have to come on chat and be like, right, chat, they've offered me 20 grand. Right, we're doing one. I don't know what their rates are. We're going to do one. It's a shit fucking app. Don't buy it. And then the next stream would be like, look at this advert. But they paid us 20 grand, chat. It's fine. Right? It's fine. It's fine. Okay, Just Stupid. Thank you for the gifted membership. 126 of the finest members. The finest members. Smashing through that target. You people are amazing.
We were doing space yesterday, me and the boys. Ben made some of a space mobile, and his scissor cut.
Yeah.
Pre-orders for influencers are different pot to the pre-order stock, but when it's just thank you for the box then GW sold out at 10 AM it doesn't help.
It's a bad look though, right, Kaz? Because it might be, I mean, you are right. So when they...
Looking forward to Blood Bowl content. I have a Blood Bowl tournament this weekend. We'll share results. I am playing ogres.
Absolutely share the results, mate. Have fun with the Blood Bowl tournament. Joe and I are looking forward to Blood Bowl content. Back to Kaz's post as well. So I know the process. So when they're going to make a new product, let's say they're going to make the new Age of Sigmar box, right? The new Skaven type box. Or let's say they're going to make it. They're obviously making the new Age of Sigmar box. Right? What they'll do is they'll go to like procurement and they'll say how many do we need? How many are we going to sell? And we reckon we're going to sell 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, whatever they think they're going to sell, right? Zero Effect Craig, thank you so much for the gifted, right? And then they'll go to the creator manager and be like, right, cool. How many do you want for creators? So let's say, for sake of argument, plucking random numbers out my ass, right? Let's say, for sake of argument, procurement say they want to make 100,000 boxes to sell. And they go to the creator manager and say, how many do you want? And he says, I want 50 boxes for creators, right? How many do they make? 100,050.
Oh, okay.
It's literally what they do. So when influencers get boxes, they are not taking product as preview content. They are not taking product off the shop shelf. They're not. Because they make extra for them. This is how the process works, by the way. Confirmed. This is how the process works. I'm not just making this up. I know this for a fact, right? So when an influencer gets a launch box or an early box or a preview copy or a Veterans of the Long War box, and someone goes, that sold out too fast, I couldn't get it, but Liam got one and he hasn't built it, this was never going on the retail shelf.
Okay.
It just wasn't happening, because that's not what happens, right? So, but, again, Kaz is 100% correct. The optics, though, is bad. When there's 20 influencers on Instagram going, I got this new model, I'm not doing anything with it, and then you're like, well, I couldn't buy it because it sold out in a minute. The optics is shit at that point, innit? If you think about it. Talk about Games Expo. Leon says, you mean like Hawk War games with Drop Fleet and Drop Zone Commander? Fantastic games, very few players. Yeah, those kinds of, that's the thing they make. I don't think I saw them at Expo, I don't know if they were at Expo, but that's the sort of things that I'm talking about, like little gaming systems where you, because they're not Games Workshop big, you typically get to have a conversation with the person that made the game, a conversation with the person that designed the game. They're like, this is what we're trying to do with this. And it's that we did this a few times at Games Expo, and it's really, really good. We were talking to the people that made the Fallout game, and it's like, this is incredible. And then we all come back here and carry on playing 40k. Right? And it's like, well, people might have been interested in some of these smaller games that exist. There was a sea of people that have made new quote-unquote games, because they might have been in development for a couple of years or whatever. So when I say new, I mean like I hadn't seen them before. And there's so many of them now. Like I said to you when I came back, that the tabletop hobby scene in the UK at least, and I assume this is representative throughout a lot of the globe, the tabletop gaming scene is very much alive. Expo was fucking packed full of very enthusiastic people and tons of new companies and small companies looking to make money by producing games and miniatures and terrain and all kinds of stuff. It was amazing to see, and we didn't share it. So we did a bad job. Clive the Kiwi, thank you for upgrading to Gold. Thank you for the hat trick.
It's like the weirdest cheese counter ever.
Yeah, thank you so much, Clive, for the upgrade. You're a hero. So when I say Warhammer influences are actually terrible, I need to be very clear about this. I'm including myself in that, right? I'm including myself. So I don't want you to think I'm pointing the picture at everyone else and going, you're all shit and we're the best. We say that enough anyway. In this particular instance, that's not what's going on. Okay? So tell me what you guys think about that. About influencers, about Warhammer influencers. Do you go on Instagram on preview day or release day and get sick of just the same photo constantly of either the box or the image shared from Warcom? Is that something that happens? Do you log on to look at what happened at Expo and get sick of seeing selfies, or am I just overthinking this? Will, thank you for 20 more gifted memberships. That's 70.
I know.
Will, you fucking legend.
We have the best chat in the world.
We have the best chat in the world. Our chat's better than everybody else's.
Top bands.
It would be very good for newcomers to get that information that there are alternatives. I agree. Absolutely agree. That's what I'm saying. I think we did a bad job of it, to be honest with you. I get self-promotion, but a selfie with a bigger creator isn't the way to go personally. Didn't come to the Great Hall until after the painting phase in Siege podcast. Got a gauge of you as a person. I'm hoping that's a. I mean, you're here as a member. You're here as a member. I hope that's a compliment.
Yeah.
I don't like. There are photos of me on social media with people like Dave from Mini Wargaming. I actually don't like. I don't like doing the selfie thing. It's never something that. This just doesn't cross my mind. Selfies don't cross my. I don't like my own photo.
I feel really bad because when we did our first Was it called Great Hall when we did it at Factorum?
No, we called it Dempsey Con.
That's it, Dempsey Con. A couple of people asked for a selfie or a group photo, and I didn't think that'd be one of my things that I would rather not ever do again.
Yeah.
And the people who asked were really sweet and kind, and they just wanted something for their little memory box.
Yeah, of course.
But I did think, oh wow, this I hate.
So
this.
if a person comes up to me at an
Yeah.
event who is a viewer or a fan and asks for a selfie, the answer is always yes.
Yeah.
I say yes. Of course you can. Absolutely. And I've had it like at Warhammer Fest. Oh, my son would like a selfie with you. I'm like, well, you shouldn't be fucking watching me. But also, yes, of course. You know, absolutely not a problem. I don't mind whatsoever. So for that, I don't actually mind at all. But when it's, here's another creator, here's a Mini Wargaming Dave or a Midwinter Minis or a Peachy or a Duncan, and then it's me saying, can I have a selfie? And it's just self-promotion. That's
Yeah.
all it is. That's
Yeah.
not my memory box. That's self-promotion.
I'd much rather, when we did we call it Dempsey Con or Great Hall at Element? The first one we did at Element.
Great Hall Gathering.
Okay, cool. So I spoke to Paul, I spoke to Don, I spoke to several others. And the problem is, because I know them by their YouTube names, and then when they come up to me and introduce me by their actual names, I then look like I've not been paying attention. And I end up going, oh my God.
One of the first things
who
I
is
say,
this person?
like Joe said, we were going to Games Expo, Joe said to me, he said, there's one thing that does happen sometimes that I hate. I was like, right, okay. What's that then? He said, people come up to you and be like, hey, I'm one of the Thanes. I'm like, okay, right. And Joe's like, and then we have a conversation. I was like, right. And then off they go. I'm like, okay, Joe, don't see the problem. He's like, I don't know who they were.
Yeah.
I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, then just ask them. So like, I don't feel like it's rude when they go, hey, I'll watch your content. I'm like, who are you?
I feel really privileged that we did events when we were really, really tiny.
Really tiny.
Because now I know people and I know them as actual people. Adrian with his pictures of his twins that I've got no doubt there'll be brand new pictures for me to go through. Jill, we were talking about performing arts. Don told me a really cool science fact, and he told me some kind of thermal reaction song that I could look up when James is interested. And I know all of these people as people because we chose to do events when we were really tiny.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel really privileged of, like, when it gets a bit much and the room gets too busy, I can find these people and go, ah.
The next Great Hall event is at the All-Stars tournament in Sheffield.
Right.
Right? That's the next Great Hall event.
Next event you attend, I expect a full report, 2,000 words, double-spaced, with pictures of all stalls and ranking of niche and new products.
To be honest with you, Jill, though,
Oh,
I think the next time we go to any kind of convention or event, I feel like I need to sit down and actually plan what kind of content I want to grab there so that I can make content about it that is informative about it. Like, there's a bunch of people that have probably never been to UK Games Expo, and what I could have done is I could have come home and gone, here's a whole thing about UK Games Expo. Here's some images, here's some videos, it gives you a feel for the size of it, gives you a feel for how many people are there, here's some of the cool here's some of the cool companies that I saw, here's some of the cool businesses that I spoke to, blah, 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 blah. Here's some links to those cool businesses that I picked out from the day. There you go. There's a piece of content that I think is fucking interesting. And then I think some people, like, I know that there's a monumentally large number of people in the Warhammer community in general that are, shall we use the phrase, a little neurospicy. And they have some problems in certain circumstances. One of those big issues, which is a little bit ironic for a game that requires you to get together with other people to play, is that people can be a little bit socially anxious. It's a fact, it happens, right? A lot of us are like that.
I know how to cure that.
But if I can, you don't have to put your hand up. I can see.
I know how to cure it.
If I can put together some content that then makes people go, I actually reckon I could do that next year. Someone asked me in the OnlyThings, I think it might have been Nick in the OnlyThings, asked me, was there a reset room? And I was like, actually no, there wasn't a reset room, but there was a hall that was so big that you could go and find a corner of it and you'd be on your own enough. That's good information for people. And that's not something that I did a good job of putting into content. I went, Gazer actually should have been there. It was a good event. Cool. Let's get pissed.
I know exactly how to solve it. What you do is you find out if there's a birthday in the room. And then you get a bunch of cakes and you get the two very socially anxious people to stand in the middle of the group of people they just met and get everybody to sing happy birthday while staring at them.
I feel
That's
like that.
exactly how you
I
cure
feel like
that.
completely solved and cured social anxiety, didn't it, Jill? Mouseless, thank you for 5 more gifted memberships. The giveaway is currently active. At the end of the stream, just before the end of the stream, which is normally 9 PM, I will give away a shirt, a t-shirt. It will be Lictor, it will be Bully Boys, or it will be Greater Good. It will be the t-shirt of your choice, right?
Greater Good.
All you have to do is be active in the chat. And if you're active in the chat 15 minutes leading up to the end of the stream, you will be automatically entered in with a chance of winning a Greater Good or Lictor or Bully Boys t-shirt, okay? You just be entered into it. That does mean, here's my devious face, it does mean you're going to have to stay to the end of the stream and keep chatting.
I expect influencers to showcase things, not themselves. If they don't like the thing, I expect them to tell me why. I also expect them to tell me if they got it for free.
Every single one of those things are perfectly reasonable expectations, I think, average British nerd. I've always said this, I maintain, to do this as a job, I consider myself incredibly lucky. Incredibly lucky. Like mad lucky. And I feel like I, therefore, genuinely believe we have a duty to our audience, right? To be honest, to be open, to review things, to give you information, to cover the topics that you've come to us for us to cover with. And I also believe we have a duty to be entertaining. On occasion, where I come there are occasions where I come off stream, and Luce will tell you this. I'll be like, that was a bit shit. We weren't funny. There wasn't very much like charisma. It was a bit dead. That happens sometimes.
It does, because you're people and you're tired.
Yeah, it's human. It's normal. It happens. And when I come off those streams, it's not just about the monetization. Sometimes we hit the monetization goals, and I feel like that. It wasn't a good stream. It was a bit of a slog. And at that point, I'm like, I've done a bad job of entertaining you people. If 206 people have come to the stream on a Wednesday night to watch us live, it's my job to entertain you. That's why you're watching, ultimately, I think.
Mystic says, I would piss my pants if you did that to me. I should stress, Liam didn't tell me about the social anxiety until after the fact. And I felt fucking horrendous in the car. And bless Jill, she even spoke to me about performing arts, because I found out that's our thing in common. And she was so nice and didn't at all let on that I had just bloody anxiety-wise crippled her in front of a room of people she just met. Oh.
There's a reason why I'm Marmite, chat, is because deep down, I'm a terrible human being.
Yeah, you could have gone, no, Luce, that's a terrible idea. Don't do that. What do you mean, don't do that? Birthdays!
I'm an individual who legitimately believes that life is too fucking short, so I like having fun too much.
Well, I just shortened Jill's life. So.
I like having fun far too much. Life's too short. I'm on the like Kyle said not too long after he'd been producing for about a month. He was like, "You don't fucking turn off ever. You're always on the wind up constantly." I'm like, "Life's too short. I'm here to have fun. I'm here for a good time. We're not here for a long time." Because we're not here for a long time, are we, really? And I have no problems, as I'm sure all of you are very, very aware, I have no problems talking about mental health and people's struggles. We have a mental health thread in Discord. You know, we are an ambassador for Models for Heroes, !M4H. I have no problems talking about mental health, and I have no problem supporting people that are struggling and having downtime. I've been there. I've had down times. Luce has had down times. We've both been there in the past. And you know what? That happens, and I want to be a person that can help cheer people up and entertain you. I'm not going to try and force you out of it, because that's not the right way of treating those certain situations, but I'll just dick around and be an idiot in the hope that I make people smile. At the same time, I legitimately think that life is too short, and I really want to make people smile, and I want to be a wind-up, and I'm sure Jill felt fucking awkward, but I bet she smiled about it.
Bless her, she did. She didn't let on at all. Oh, I felt so bad.
Fuck's sake, I'm on delay, says Jill. Don't worry, the anxiety's still there. Had to do half-time announcements during show week. Worst 6 times 1 minutes of my life.
Oh.
When we were trying, that's Luce said the exact same sentence when we were trying for Ben. The worst 6 times 1 minutes of your life.
Yeah. Do you know, I was talking about that.
Yeah.
To a friend.
What? When we were trying for Ben?
No. About how we'd already had James, and then randomly it's like a switch got flicked in my brain of, babe, I need another baby. I need a baby, and I I can't describe the yearning for a baby. I can't. There's no words for it. But you were like pointing to James. We have one.
We have a grown-up one.
No. I was a foolish mum and I grew him up. I need one that fits in my arms. I need it.
Yeah.
Give it to me now. I need a baby.
Yeah. Well, remember, kids, when someone offers you free drugs, take him. That shit ain't cheap.
85% of 40k content people aren't influencers, they are topical YouTubers, and that is not a compliment. The Great Hall, Peachy, and War Hipster, thumbs up, thumbs up.
Topical YouTubers, that is not a compliment. I'd like to sit here being really smart and understanding what you meant by that, Brian. What do you mean by topical YouTubers and that's not a compliment? I'm genuinely interested because I feel like you're saying what I feel and how I think, but you perhaps have put it in a way that I don't fully understand. I just want to clarify. It's friend code for psychologist. I was a foolish mum. I made him grow up.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know, I even said that to him when I was heavily pregnant. James was, because he had speech delay, blah, blah, blah. And he cottoned on that there was a baby in my belly. And I said to him, don't worry, darling. I won't be so silly this time. I went and let you grow up, but I won't do that a second time. And he rubbed my belly and he went, accidents happen. I was like, wait, are you calling your baby brother an accident or are you saying that?
He's not entirely wrong. Average British Nerd says, one thing I like about your streams and battle reports, Liam, is that it's not overly serious. I don't think, especially Joe and I don't think we could be overly serious if we tried. We had a number of people, when we got the new studio, and we built the new set and we upgraded all of our stuff. And we bought the scoreboard from Titan. We were super professional.
Influencers should encourage their followers to be better in aspects outside of the hobby sphere, like you are with fitness.
I think specifically for influence, I pretty much agree with you, Sam. Yeah, and I'm trying. I am trying. So people said to us, with the new studio and the new scoreboard and the new look and all 4K and all that fancy, are you worried you'll lose the Garage Hammer vibe? I was like, no, because we're the same fucking idiots.
Yeah.
We're the same idiots. We can't change that. That's not going to happen. And we play the game, we play the hobby because we enjoy it. We have fun, and it's the way we enjoy ourselves and the way we have fun. So I want to, again, we talk about influence and set an example. I feel like there's too many people that have pushed the hobby down the competitive space. I feel like there's too many channels that have gone down the competitive route. I feel like the vast majority of people really just want to play this to have fun and enjoy themselves. And so, again, it's our job, I think, to set an example of what I think typical Warhammer is. And typical Warhammer is normally dicking around your mates, having a laugh, a bit of banter, a bit of fun, playing an honest game and enjoying yourself, maybe telling a story at the same time. So people were worried that we were going to change to some hyper-polished, no sweary, super clean, super crisp production values. Like, we just can't do it. If we wanted to, which I don't. If we wanted to, I don't think we could do it. That's a lie. If I wanted to, I could do it. I wouldn't enjoy it. That's the difference. Because you've seen me go on Titans and not swear at all. I can do it, but
do you have to, every sentence that's in your head before you say it, do you have to sort of like go through another filter of,
no, I find it very easy. So, but I think it's because of career choice as well. So when I was senior management at Rolls-Royce, with my team, there'd be significant swearers, especially if shit was going wrong. The second you're in front of a senior customer, especially a senior customer on a multi-million-pound contract, the language stops very quickly. Yeah. And you talk properly. Me and the boys had our first real-life experience of kind of censoring your language
because we got invited to a play date on the street. So I had to say to James, absolutely do not reference Family Guy in any capacity, because I'm probably a bad mum for letting you watch that, but they definitely won't watch that. So if you do the bird, the bird is the word thing, they won't get it, they'll ask what it is, and then you'll explain because you want them to share the joke, and then everyone knows I'm a bad mum for letting you watch Family Guy. So just don't do it. But because him and Ben have rehearsed the whole Brian don't thing when he does the uma mau mau, mama uma mama thing. So I had to say to Ben, no Family Guy. Oh, okay. No, Ben, no Family Guy. None of it. No Family Guy. Okay, Family Guy. No Family Guy.
Yes, we let our 6 and 11-year-old children watch Family Guy. We are wildly irresponsible parents.
Bad parents.
Wildly.
But because some kids have...
You swear less than tires? That's a flat lie.
Yeah.
Don't start that smoker's spotlight crap. You've got no chance. No chance at all.
But
I'm not competitive because I'm just not very good. Same as me, Hobby Collab. Same as me. We're a narrative channel, so because we're shit at the game.
It was really interesting watching James chat to my friend's daughter, and half of me was sort of holding my breath thinking, please just remember we're not referencing Family Guy. And then you start going through, is there any other cartoons I let him watch that strictly shouldn't? And I haven't specified those cartoons.
They're a child.
Will he be like, we didn't say this one, say that one?
I fully agree with ABN's super chat. Influencers, show me your work. Take your pictures, sure, but show something. Show me why you are worthy of a pic with me. Am I acting all high and mighty now?
Maybe, but I get it. I feel like influencers on the whole. Here's a statement. Here's a sweeping statement, which is slightly shocking. I feel like influencers on the whole feel like they deserve respect before they've earned it.
Yes. Yes.
And sometimes I feel like that respect is directly related to a figure. So a subscriber count or a follower count or a post engagement count or something, right? I've got 100 and something thousand subs, so you should respect me because I've got 100,000 subs. Now, you know what? If you've got 100 and something thousand subs, I respect the grind and I respect the achievement. Doesn't yet mean I respect you. And I feel like a lot of influencers are, I deserve your respect and I deserve your attention. So I guess, Johan, what I'm kind of saying is I half actually agree with what you've just said there, because I feel like they should earn that respect and they should earn that attention. We should earn your view. We should earn your attention. We should earn your engagement. We should earn your gifters. Thank you, Star Pilot. We should earn your super chats. We should earn your watch time. That's all things we're trying to do all the time. And and earning that isn't just, and this is where a lot of fucking people fall down. I've had this conversation with so many new starters in the influencer space in general, right? This is where a lot of people fall down. Earning that doesn't just mean turn the fucking camera on. That's not how it works. You don't just turn the camera on and you have 200 people watching you. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
You need to offer something interesting, compelling, funny, engaging, informative. It needs to be a combination of a lot of those things. You can't necessarily get all of those things in every single piece of content, especially when you do something like 7 streams a week. It can be quite hard, but you need to be offering something that's different from other people, that's entertaining, that makes people laugh or smile, that's real world. We get so many lovely comments from people about how, specifically on the Friday streams, we fuck off on the real world tangents. So people are like, it's really relatable, and no one else does that. You know, you need to be honest. You need to offer opinion that's backed up with knowledge and that's backed up with experience. And if you don't do those things, you don't deserve an audience's views. It's as simple as that. For me, a selfie with someone else like Mini Wargaming Dave. I'm picking Mini Wargaming Dave because he's one of the biggest people that was there all weekend this weekend, and there's tons of pictures of him all over the place, and he loves the selfies. But he's not doing it for the growth. The other people are. So I'm not criticizing Dave. I fucking adore Dave. But a selfie with Mini Wargaming Dave doesn't deserve people's attention. It's just a fucking selfie. You do not deserve a person's like, click, view, watch, any of that shit just for taking a selfie with someone. In my opinion. So we are trying, when we do any of our pieces of content, whether it's the Liam and Joe show, whether it's the live games, whether it's these talking heads, we're trying very hard to make sure we're a bit informative, make sure we're entertaining, we make people laugh and smile, to offer honest opinions, to offer, the big thing for me, especially with these types of shows, for example, is to offer meaningful discussion. I feel like this is a meaningful discussion, for example. I feel like this is actually quite interesting. I feel like I'm learning about what the audience expects and how I could probably do better at my own job. Because guess what? There isn't really any class or academy or like lectures out there on how to be a good YouTube influencer. And if there is, it's generic bullshit that doesn't really work in our particular individual space.
Yeah.
Because we live in this tiny little hobby space. And trust me, YouTube have tried. I've been on many calls with YouTube where they're like, you need to do this, this, and this. Like, I've done that. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work in this hobby niche.
Very niche.
Yeah, it doesn't work. They're like, oh, okay. And I've shown them, here, I did this, this, and this. Like, oh yeah, you have done those things. It didn't work. It didn't work.
Do you ever go, okay, bye?
Okay, bye. It's weird. So my partner manager changes every 6 months. They change every 6 months, and I'm like, my partner manager's about to change again. I'm like, here it comes again. Here comes the partner manager going, I'm your new partner manager. Can we have a meeting? Oh, good.
Yeah,
You're going to tell me all the things the
It's
last
like-
3 told me.
I said this morning, it's like when you have a substitute teacher. You don't ever end up learning anything new because, oh, sorry, that was an accidental ding.
I mean, Will did give 70 and then...
Okay,
Yeah,
there you go, Will.
we can let him have it.
I knocked it, but you can have that one. But it's when you get a substitute teacher, you don't really ever learn anything new in that lesson because they're constantly trying to find out
playing
where
catch
you
up.
are.
Yeah, absolutely. But the partner manager is fucking brilliant. I guarantee my partner manager changes. I think end of this week. I guarantee that sometime in the next fortnight I'll get a new email from a partner manager from YouTube, and they'll be like, "I'm your new partner manager. I was hoping we could jump on a call so we could talk about how to strategize your channel." Like the last 3.
But it's nice that every time you meet them with it's as though it's fresh eyes. And it's
Why wouldn't I?
Yeah,
They might come up
exactly.
with something where I'm like, huh, okay,
yeah,
let's
that's
try
cool.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you never know, right? But yeah, back on topic. I legitimately think that we as people need to. I implore all of you actually to genuinely think about this in the future. Before you send a super chat or gift a membership or become a member, before you watch, before you click like, before you what's one of the first things we do when we go streaming? One of the first things we do is we say, please make sure you hit all those magical YouTube buttons, hit the like button, and I say this phrase every time, very specifically, right? Listen to what I say. Hit the like button if you enjoy this content. You don't have to do it straight away. Hit the like button if you enjoy this content. What I love about it is we go live sometimes and there's already 10 likes on the stream. I love it. I love you for being so dedicated to the cause. I'm like, how do you know you like it?
The question is, what's the worst type of influencer? My Veep the rich finny ankle advisors pricks.
Will's got an opinion on those. Thank you for the $10. I think Kai was in chat earlier saying financial advisor influencers are the worst as well. So you've definitely got a person who agrees with you there. I've got a type.
My favourite, you fucking asshole influencer is, you've probably all seen it. It's these people that, again, when you're doom scrolling, they pretty much tip out a whole bucket of water onto their laminate flooring and then scrub it and then like wipe it out into the street. There's been so many cleaning companies that have had to come in because the floorboards have warped.
Yeah.
Because all the
They're
water's
showing you
gone
something
underneath.
for a trendy video that then fucks something.
But even we had laminate flooring for 5 years, and even I was watching it going, well, that's going to fuck your flooring up. Why would you do that?
So before you do any of those things, including clicking like and all that kind of stuff, genuinely, I want you to be like, and I mean this for everybody. I mean this for us as well. Like, does this person deserve the super chat? They deserve the like. They deserve and the most important thing out of all of them, do they deserve my time? Because you're giving your time. You could be watching another channel. You could be watching Netflix. You could be watching Disney Plus. You could be watching anything, and you're choosing to watch us. Do we deserve that time? I work fucking hard. I often feel like we deserve the time, and I work really hard to hopefully think that you guys come away and go, that was funny tonight. We enjoyed that. It was a good chat, good discussion. We had a laugh a few times. Good. I've enjoyed it. And I want you to come away from the stream at the end going, yeah, I have clicked like because I did like it. I did enjoy it. I did like it, right? And liking is actually quite important for the way that the channel algorithm works. Back to Will Super Chat. I have never really watched a financial advisor prick.
Surely you can sue them if it's up to you to take the advice.
Exactly.
Isn't it?
So I've never really seen any of those that I'm aware of, so I can't say that. But my recent journey that I've been on over the course of the last 6 weeks that we opened the show with and started talking about was about starting to get myself in shape. I'm back on stream playing a game next Tuesday with Kirioth. I'd love to. The other week I went on stream and someone was like, "Yeah, you've lost a bit of weight." Like, it's working. I feel like my shape's starting to change. Like I said, I'm feeling healthier. So I've been on the hunt for some more influences in the kind of the fitness world. Here's my least favourite influencer type at the moment.
Okay.
It's fresh, and I talked about it, I think, last night. That's the type of fitness influencer, some ripped fucking, jacked fucking, huge-looking motherfucker. You're like, guys, he's a powerhouse. And then here's a reel of how you do this particular curl, and here's a reel of how you do this particular thing, and here's the supplement that you should take, and here's this supplement that you should take, and this is the protein powder that you should be taking. If you want to get arms like these, this is the protein powder you should be taking, and there's a code in the description. You're like, okay, this is okay, interesting. So he uses that stuff. It's clearly really working from him, and then you find out they take steroids.
Yeah.
So it's not the protein powder, is it? Nor is it the bicep curls.
I've got
it's the
one.
fucking steroids.
I've got one. It's when yoga comes up on my reels, and it's a woman in jeans and a boob tube with her hair down, and I'm looking at it going, why would you wear jeans for yoga? Why haven't you tied your hair back? You're not doing yoga at all.
It's just
a lie.
It's a lie. Yeah. So the fitness ones are the ones that get me the most. Like, I don't necessarily. I mean, I do have a problem with taking steroids. Actually, I have a massive problem taking steroids because they're dangerous. They're uncontrolled, and you're probably going to die young if you keep taking steroids.
It's also.
But the thing that really gets me is when they're selling this image of themselves.
Yeah.
And then they're going, like I said to you earlier, right, about affiliations, right? And they're going, this is such and such protein powder. So I use a Maxi Muscle powder because it's what I've always used, it's what I've always known. It's what I started using in Afghan when I started training hard the first time I was out there. And they'll go, use this fucking protein powder, code blah 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 for 10% off. And what they're saying is, you get 10% off and I get 10% kickback. So they're basically monetizing. You want to look like me? Take this protein powder. But what they're actually doing is lying, because that hasn't caused this.
No.
That has arguably had not much anything to do with this. It's the fucking steroids you're taking. That annoys me. So yeah, there's a few people that I followed, and only to find out when people go, do you take steroids? And that's fair play. I'll give them some credit. They answer honestly, and you go, yeah. I'm like, unfollow. Not interested in you anymore. Because you lied.
Think, actually, having these people that try and do yoga in their skinny jeans with their hair all over their face, and people who are flooding the floors and then scrubbing it and then wiping it, it has made me really check in with my own integrity and what actually do I want from my body, because I could become Bendy Pretzel in no time at all if I neglect the kids, neglect you, and join a gym and just drop my workload here and fuck off for 6 hours a day.
I don't want you to become Bendy Pretzel and neglect me.
What do I actually want from my body? I want my mind to have a healthy attitude towards food, and watching somebody supplement actual honest-to-God food with some kind of milkshake isn't good.
Also, there's a great difference between influencers taking a selfie for selfish reasons compared to fans wanting a picture with someone they admire. I support fans doing that.
100% agree on that. Absolutely. Completely. Johan, thank you for the Swedish.
Also, unresponsible because you let your kids watch Family Guy? I mean, there's an army of us 80s kids that watched the movie IT as kids, and we are still scarred.
We have currently drawn the line at South Park, which is literally my favourite cartoon of all time. But yeah.
Or, where was I?
I don't know.
Oh, so like healthy mind
yes,
towards
your
food
body, what you want to get
stuff.
out of your body, yeah.
Yeah, so, but, and all of these things on Reels has, because I can go, that you're not doing yoga. What the fuck is this? You're not doing yoga. Piss off. So I'll whatever you do, whatever you have to do, that you can manipulate the marketing towards you. So you'll linger on. For me, I'll linger on some kind of sewing reel. I'm not watching it, but I just need to linger on it long enough that it'll stop sending me bullshit about people trying to do yoga in skinny jeans.
Yeah. Or
people flooding their floors and then wondering why they've warped their laminate flooring. So then it has made me kind of go, I need to actively not get drawn into that.
Yeah.
Which makes my mind stronger, actually.
Yeah, absolutely does.
It's a bit of a gauntlet.
There's a thing, digital resilience is a thing that exists.
Yeah, and that's an exercise on its own.
Yeah.
Of not falling down.
Someone's put in there, where is it? Someone's put in there that they're just lying. I can't remember who it was, they just put that in there. But they absolutely are. There's too many people. There's too many people quite close to home, chat, who preach fitness, who are just on things like steroids. So you often have to do a bit of research and be careful those that you follow and right. I talked about people needing to deserve your likes and deserve your engagement and deserve your views, etc. I've also talked about how people like me should be setting examples. Certain individuals should earn you allowing them to be your example. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Do you follow me there?
It's a privileged position to be put in.
Yes.
So
to be someone who is looked up to is all part of that earning respect circle, right?
Yeah.
So if you earn the respect of people by being honest, by having integrity, by sharing truthful opinions, by basing things up with facts and evidence, I feel like often you can get to a point where you deserve the respect and potentially, therefore, you deserve people who will look up to you and allow themselves to be influenced by you, right? And allow you to be the example that's set. Okay, this is in general. This is across the whole of social media. If you're going to follow anyone and let them set an example, or tell you how to do yoga in skinny jeans, or tell you how to lift weights but actually be on steroids, or tell you how to clean a kitchen floor but actually be ruining the kitchen floor, just do a bit of research first. Normally it's not that hard. Google's a thing. Google exists, and you'll find a lot of those people are doing it because why do people do social media? Why do people make the latest like trendy video? It's the clicks. Social media content in general. The whole thing about social media content is that producing content on social media in general is, strictly speaking, an addictive drug. I had this conversation with Lucy the other day. Creating posts on Instagram, creating content on YouTube, it's an addictive drug. Babble, thank you for becoming a Hasidim member. By the way, Star Part, I didn't miss. Thank you for the 7 gifted. You fucking legend. We're on 160 now. You people are amazing. Smashed it out of the park tonight. I appreciate you all. You're amazing people, and you're all wonderful humans. But creating social media content, creating Instagram content, creating Facebook content, creating YouTube content is essentially an addictive drug. It's a very powerful addictive drug. And the reason why it's a powerful addictive drug is because it's not one that you necessarily have lots of control over. So when you create Instagram, so let's say you create an Instagram post, a picture on Instagram, right? Mm-hmm. And let's say you don't have a particularly big account. And let's say you get 10 likes on average on a post, right? That's your normal engagement on a post. Okay, cool. Let's say you now create another post, a random post. And you do your normal thing, and you make your pitch, and you do your little bits of editing, and you put your little caption in there, and you add all your fucking hashtags, and you hit post. And that post doesn't get 10 likes, but it gets 150 likes, right? What that does is it releases a little chemical. It's called dopamine. You get a little dopamine hit. And dopamine is one of the most addictive drugs in the fucking world. So creating social media content, going viral, it isn't actually just about making money, although a lot of it is about making money. It's about that dopamine hit. It's about a drug addiction. And people find themselves in these little negative spirals where they then start chasing the likes, chasing the views, chasing the engagement because of that dopamine hit.
But why are they chasing? Is it because we don't really hang out with friends anymore in person? Is it because we all have to work 1,000 jobs a week, so we don't even have the time to consider hanging out with friends?
Oh, I'm not saying it's all negative.
So the dopamine that should mean the most to us from the people we love isn't coming through. So we're now seeking it from perfect strangers. And somehow we value a perfect stranger's opinion over people who know you. And that's not even because of COVID. I think that was happening before.
Because stranger-based validation offers a bigger dopamine hit.
Isn't that odd?
It's very odd. That's how it works. Thank you so much, Skippy the Magnificent, for the 5 gifted memberships. Talk about dopamine hits. Whee! Thank you so much, Skippy, for the 5 gifted. We're also, chat, right now in the last part of the stream. Right? We're in the last 10 to 15 minutes of the stream. Why is that important? Well, because we've got over 150 members, because you're all fucking G's, which means we're going to be giving away a t-shirt. You will be able to pick the t-shirt of your choice. You can pick a Lictor, Greater Good, or a Bully Boys t-shirt from our merchandise website, ! merch. There is a 4th one, which is a Great Hall t-shirt. You can pick that one if you want, but most people would rather one of the 3 big cartoon ones, right? So you can pick one of those 3 t-shirts if you win this giveaway. It's a random... It's a random selection from anyone who comments from now till the end of the stream. You just have to comment. No keyword this time. You just have to comment. That's where YouTube goes, fuck, this stream got popular in the last 10 minutes. Human psychology is super weird when you get deep into it. It's really... I started diving. It's a fucking terrifying hole. I stopped very quickly. I stopped very, very quickly. This is when I never signed up for Twitter or used Facebook. Fuck social media. Social media is... I would if any of you got Netflix or have a fucking family member's Netflix login, I assume a lot of you do. If any of you got of Netflix, I would urge all of you. We've said this before. I would urge all of you to watch a program called The Social Dilemma. It's a docu-film or whatever you would call it. A docu something. It's not a docu-series, is it? It's about an hour and a half long, I think, if I'm right, or an hour and 20 minutes long. Is that about right? And it is about social media, the internet, and how it controls you. It's fascinatingly interesting. It made me change a lot of my habits. Jill bloody loves a raffle. Witness me! Love this Great Hall family. Funny bugger, the lot of you. Thanks, Matt. You're a hero. I actually would like to get a Great Hall t-shirt. You can have a Great Hall t-shirt if you want one. If that's what you'd rather have, you can have one of those. It's just a t-shirt, not the polo shirt. Everything in moderation. Absolutely. Absolutely. I have a hook and a peg leg channel. Does that count as Netflix? I feel I'm interrupting you when you try to sell us something with my super chats all the time. I'm a bit. I'll back off a bit. Sorry, chatting. Shut up, Johan. Don't be silly. But super chatting is like the most.
Yeah, Johan. Don't you dare super chat.
How dare you donate money to the channel, which helps us keep the lights on. Honestly, do not ever worry about the reason why. Okay, let me put it this way, Johan. Okay, to make you feel better. If I was worried about super chats interrupting me, I wouldn't have them exploding up on the screen. I could turn that off. I have them exploding up on the screen to encourage you all to interrupt me, because I think you get more, excuse the pun, more bang for your buck. You do this.
Also, on the topic of being healthy, I've walked to and from work the last 4 years, about 1 hour total, but the last 3 weeks I also take an additional 45-minute walk in the evening. I feel great.
I think you were fucking doing enough, weren't you?
Yeah, but if your body's acclimatized to it, then you might need to top it up.
Jesus!
Can't wait to see what's after the hour, plus 45 minutes, plus...
More Liam, more often. 2 more Talking Head streams on Saturday and Sunday evenings. Is that what you're asking for?
No.
I thought that the response would be significantly faster than that.
I didn't realise you were waiting for me.
Yeah. Social Dilemma was a crazy thing to watch. It's a good watch though, isn't it? Social Dilemma is a really good thing to watch.
There's another one as well that's about Instagram. And it was... I can't remember the title for it, but it was about how... because so much gets put on there per second, it's impossible to regulate and police it. And how all these social media platforms, they need...
Well, I told you yesterday, I don't know if I still got the page open. I don't think I do, actually. Oh, here it is. Around 3.7 million new videos are uploaded to YouTube every day.
Yeah, that's it's impossible.
3.7 million. Legionate, yeah, I don't want to dive too deep into politics right now in the UK, but he does say Liam for PM.
No.
I feel like I should run.
No.
If you look at the options that we have,
no.
I feel like I should run for PM.
No.
I feel like we should create the Great Hall Party.
No. No. Do you want to hear my very sweet and short story about consent again? Because you're not hearing the word I'm saying here.
But I'm not asking for consent to run for PM.
But I'm saying no.
I'm not saying...
Because whatever you do, Muggins here gets dragged in the slipstream of it, and I'm saying no.
I don't think that's true. I think I should run for PM. Liam for PM. Right? Yeah. Sundays will go back to being no actual work, just gaming days. Right. Cool. Not use Facebook for ages. If I didn't have the channel page, I wouldn't use Facebook at all.
If I didn't have to use Facebook, I wouldn't.
So I used to. My favourite social media app was Instagram for the longest time. It's just become a bit shit lately. So I'm gonna sound awful now, chat. I don't fucking care. Instagram used to be lovely photos, and people would take time to make nice photos. Instagram is now reels of girls wearing as little as possible for likes. And adverts. That's the 2 things you got on Instagram. And then you work your fucking nuts off to work your algorithm so it doesn't show you that shit. And then you just spend a day in Joe's company, it starts showing you that shit again. Joe and I watched the algorithm work the other day. We were sat somewhere doing something. We were having lunch together at Games Expo, flicking through, chatting at the same time on Instagram, and then we literally, I think we got 3 reels that we were flicking at the exact same time, the exact same reel, because we were in each other's close proximity.
Yeah.
It's fucking frightening.
Yeah.
Anyway, did I see you get one ready?
Yes.
Okay, so we're about to have a loose fact. If you are new here, this is an interesting time, because you don't know what you're about to get. Okay, you're either going to get a loose fact, spelled as per her name, Luce, which means it's a true fact, an actual fact that's true, or you're going to get a loose fact, spelled Loose. It's a bit loose because it's nonsense. It's not an actual fact. Where does it come from? Does it come from the book?
Yeah.
Most of these are bollocks, all right? Heads up now. When she finishes the loose fact, at the point she finishes the loose fact, I'm going to draw the giveaway. Okay, I'm going to get it ready now. At the point she finishes the loose fact, I'm going to draw the giveaway. Currently, there's 87 people eligible to win this giveaway. If you haven't already, comment in the chat, okay? Cool. Right. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Scientists in Germany have worked out a way to turn peanut butter into diamonds.
We've got peanut butter.
No, we ate it all. I need to make some more.
I don't know if it'll be. Will it work with your peanut butter, or will it need to be shop bought peanut butter full of shit?
I think it's the fact that there's peanuts in it. I think that's the bit. So there's still peanuts in my peanut butter. So we should have a jar of diamonds, really.
We should have a jar of diamonds. Why haven't we?
Because we're not in Germany.
I feel like that's bollocks.
No,
but,
I think
but
it's
chat
real.
records it's all true. But then I feel like everything that comes out of that book is bollocks. By the way, Mad Larkin, I don't know if you caught it, people, was the winner of our giveaway. I won the shirt. You did win the shirt, yes. Yeah. There's mixed reactions now. Bollocks, balls, loose. Fact, loose, 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 loose. Fact, true, loose.
I hate peanut butter.
Mad Larkin, you did win the giveaway. Get in touch on Discord via DM. There is a chance with t-shirts that I won't actually ship it till Monday because I have a couple of hours every Monday morning now to catch up on admin because I'm grateful, but Discord messages and Instagram messages and things are going a bit mental lately and there's lots coming in. So I have a couple of hours where I catch everything up. I might actually get a chance to do it either tomorrow morning or Sunday. I won't have chance before then, outside of those two times, unless I do it on Monday, right? So, Mr. the Mad Larkin, let me know what t-shirt you want, what colour you would prefer, what size you want, your second favourite colour out of the options available. I need your address so I can ship it to you, as well as your name, unless you literally want it posted to Mad Larkin. The postman might ask some questions, okay? If you haven't had your comment read out or you were unsure about my feelings or thoughts on any of this particular stuff that we've talked about tonight, you are welcome to drop something in the comments on the video after the stream has finished because it will stay up as a video on demand and I'll be reading all of them and I reply to some as well. So please let me know what you think. Our Warhammer influence is actually terrible. Or am I just being overly critical of them and myself for that matter? Anywho. Tomorrow, we are live at 13:30 with the Liam and Joe show, so come and hang out then, especially you lot who are the working lurking crew. And then at 7:30 in the evening, it's supposed to be Eddie versus Joe, but I haven't actually heard anything from Eddie. I need to message him and say, are you still coming? Because if he isn't, then it'll be me and Joe tomorrow evening, and Kyle will be operating Das Deck. What's that look for?
Just wondered.
Oh, well, Eddie's in. He's on the rota.
So are you supposed to come home early tomorrow then?
Yeah.
Ah.
Maybe if they behave themselves.
Come on, Eddie.
If they behave themselves and chat behaves themselves, I come home early. If they don't behave themselves and chat doesn't behave themselves, then I don't
Should
come
I
home early.
message Eddie?
No, I'll do it in a minute. It's all right. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you for giving us your likes, your time, your views, your super chats, and especially the gifted, smashing it out of the park once again. You people are absolutely incredible. Is there anything you'd like to say to our lovely chat before we go?
No.
Oh. She doesn't care. Thank you so much for watching, you beautiful humans. We'll see you in the next one.